Okay, time to see what I can do in another hour or so of working on these events. I don't really remember where I was at last time. Um, right. Um, so I was thinking while I was at work that I don't necessarily want to hook up triggers to entities, but I don't know if that's something I need to fix now or later. Um, I think I'll do it now. So what I need to do is separate these triggers from the entity types. And then each event will need I do have a Mac. So each event is going to have a list of spawners, and a list of triggers, which are totally separate. So this no longer needs to be there. Um, and I'd like to have an identifier, I think, for this. This used to run Linux, but the driver for the Mac fan doesn't. It doesn't really work for my preferred distribution of Linux, so I just changed back to Mac. Also, there's a couple more games that I had been playing. Like I think Faster Than Light at the time wasn't on Linux, and Knights of the Old Republic I could only play on the Mac. Anyway, so I need, I think, an identifier, which should just be a string, and we'll use this. So for instance, if we're making a trigger where you have to kill all of a certain mob or a certain entity, it'll work based off this identifier. So we'll probably need to make here a string array of identifiers. It's okay, it's kind of fun. Does this need to be array list? Probably not. Or just a regular array would be fine for these because they're not going to change. And then store this identifier in the entity spawner. And we're not going to do any checking to make sure that different entity spawners don't have different identifiers, because I think that could actually be fairly useful. You could just give everything the same identifier, and then there'd be some different interactions there. And I think you probably want a position. Block offset. So when an event spawns, it will have a position. Actually, yeah, I'll need to do that there. Origin. And then the offset of where the actual entity spawns will be not an actual block position, so it won't be like coordinates in the world. It'll be offset from the origin, which will be coordinates in the world. So we'll want to store that too. It's all going to be JSON. That's the easiest way to do it. It'll mean that you can package them with custom superpowers and stuff. If somebody makes a mod or a Java program to create data packs for the mod, then I might make an add-on real quick that makes these as well, because it's not going to be all that difficult to make. Probably a little time consuming, just because you'll have to individually place each entity and then set up custom triggers and everything. But when it's done, I think it'll be pretty cool. And I might make a few just default ones in ThreeCore itself, just for like karma purposes. And just for added content, because it can get a little boring, in my opinion, when you just have all the superpowers and have nothing to do with them. Anyway, we're going to want to store these as well. Trigger blocks entities. I don't know what you mean by that. Okay. Am I missing any variables? Make an event, you want triggers, spawners, the origin, name. Probably doesn't need a name. The event itself, I don't think would, since it's got a resource location, and that's how you'll do it in code. Nobody in the game is ever going to see the name. We won't need that. I do think the trigger should do a toast when the event starts. So it should need a name, but I'm not going to do that right now. Do that later. Kill this pig. Once pig is killed, reward. Kill any pig. Yeah, it'll be a specific pig, because when the event itself spawns, all of these entity spawners will fire and just like spawn random entities around the event origin, which is what the offset is for. It's going to be how far away it's going to spawn from the origin itself, which will spawn a set distance from individual players. So you'll get a notification that an event has spawned near you. You might get like a open world style game, like a, what are those called? Like a waypoint, I guess you would say, to where the event origin is, and then you'd walk over there. And the identifier is used because, like, say you spawn 50 pigs, but you only need to kill one of those 50 pigs, then that specific pig would have a custom identifier, which you would then reference in the trigger, and when you kill that pig, the trigger would fire. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, to toasts, which would mean names and icons. this isn't something Sheriff suggested to me. I mean, it could be something I've got an idea off of because he's always talking about dumb shit like that. But this is something I've wanted to do for a while, mostly related to the karma system because I don't think it's great how it is at the moment. Or distorting this before, so I gotta fix that. Alright, seems like okay. I think this is all I need. Probably forgetting stuff, but I guess when I'm making the example, I can figure that out. Wait a second. The origin doesn't need to be in the constructor. The origin needs to be in a method. That's just how my voice is. I mean, that's what I sound like. Spawn event. And that will need the origin. And it will need a, this is actually kind of a question. Does it need to have an individual player hooked up to it? I'd say yeah, because I'm going to spawn them based on proximity to a player. So I think only that specific player should be able to, play. Oh, right, they switched those around. Only that specific player should be able to complete the quest, or complete the event. I think. I'll try that now, and if people don't like it, I might switch it around. But I think that's the better option to start with. So I'll leave the player, the origin, and time limit, maybe? I'll leave that as a to-do option. I think that's all I should need there. Alright. Then I want to make a method in here. Static method that loads a entity spawner from a JSON object. And we will load that from a, God, I don't, JSON utils. Probably an array. Called So that will get the list of entity, like JSON translated, whatever, from the file itself. And actually, I don't need a name, so I took that out, so I can take that out. So it just needs entity spawners and another array of event triggers. JSON triggers. Oops. Okay, and then entities. Wait. Wanted to. There we go. Okay. Each spawner needs to be converted to an actual entity spawner. Each element of the JSON array needs to be ran through this thing. There we go. And then we'll add it to a new list. Once it is converted. And then we will do this pretty much the exact same thing for the triggers. There we go. Oh, except, no, that's fine. Oh, there we go. Cool. And then, right. I don't want it to be muted when it uploads the VOD. Oh. not do that? All this sequence. Right. That should work. Oh, it does work. Got it. There we go. Cool. Alright, so this loads the stuff from JSON, finds the list of entities, finds the list of triggers, loads them individually from these methods, compiles them into an array, and then runs the constructor, which I think is pretty much all we need. So now we just gotta figure out this stuff. So this will be an object with type, identifier, and block offset. So type will have to be a I thought I just used it like that. Oh, it's capitalized. Get a resource location string that, and it'll be called the type, or just type probably be easier. Same thing for the identifier. So, block position. What happens if this can't find that? Okay, it throws a new syntax exception. So let's do So this will be the offset there. If it doesn't have an X, Y, or Z, then it will just ignore the exception and go with the original, which is just 0, 0, 0. Equals new. set the offset. And turn. First, we need to get the identifier. Does this one do a syntax exception too? Yes. So we'll need another try catch block for that. Try to load an identifier from the JSON, and if that doesn't work, we'll go with the default again. And finally, we have the type. So we'll need to have a default entity type to spawn. Not sure what this is. Okay. Let's do zombie as the default. And then do this. This one will be, have the JSON utils method of a fallback, so you don't need to. Oh, they do? Oh. I see. Well, that's useful. Thank you. So I can just do that. There we go. Cool. Cool. value based on this. No, that actually helped me. I couldn't find the actual Forge Registries class. I was looking at Forge Registry. Cool. And I guess I don't even really need to make these variables. I can just cool. So that should load entity spawners. And then triggers will need to be well, actually, triggers are kind of different because I want to load a specific one. So I don't want this here. Because I want to register all these triggers. So they are going to be singletons, not different instances. So I want to register trigger types, which should be a new class. So both of these two will be registered. And this will be what is created from the JSONs. Okay. So for this, basically the same thing. I want this, except for my own thing. So I have to do this now. I don't remember how to make a registry. I think it's done somewhere around here though. Well, let's do some investigating. This looks different. What is it? Hey, here we go. Let's do it in here for investigation purposes. create. Probably just active, I guess. Does it say what differences are? Oh, but it's probably not vanilla, so we'll try this one. Okay. That's not relevant. Maybe it's on the default documentation site. Hey, here we go. Okay. Use a registry builder. Oh, that's not it. Yes, this is Java. Minecraft's in Java, so you have to code mods in Java as well, or at least something that compiles to Java. Ah, so it does. Oh, that's not actually. I thought this was going to be a lot harder. Alright, so let's just put this here. Wait, no, that's not working. Oh. Stupid. Alright, let's have that there and that there. I don't know why I'm putting it inside these. I could just put it in the events, but oh well. Okay. So now, when this module is loaded, it will register 2 new registries through this. So I need a static. So these registries are going to be used to store the different types of effects. So for instance, one of the effects is going to remove karma, some of it's going to add karma. It might give you a certain item, and then these will be registered. But thinking about it now, yeah, they do need to be. Yeah, they need to be registered. Just to be able to easily define which one you are talking about in this thing. Okay. All right. Event trigger, event trigger. Joke's on you guys, I'm making a Winnie the Pooh mod. Type, I don't know why. Oh, that needs to be a resource location. Not a runtime exception, a resource location. So type as event trigger type dot class. ID range. Probably doesn't need to be too different from that. I highly doubt there'll be 2048 different event types of triggers. Probably there's going to be like 10, but oh well. And same thing here, except different. Cool. So the registries are made, because that'll fire. That will happen there. And now we needed this so that we could do this. The only problem here is that we don't have a default yet. Which isn't terrible because if you don't have a type and effect, like why would you even be making a trigger? But whatever. Eventually, just so it doesn't crash, I should set some defaults. And also because, like, if I remove or change the name of an effect, then it'll make data packs crash if they're trying to use that and it's not there. So probably would be best to just have a default. So it got a trigger type, and then it needs a trigger effect. and it needs an array list of an array of identifiers. Yeah, I guess so. The only thing is, some of them might need different things that others don't. For instance, if I'm trying to make a trigger where you bring an entity to a certain point, then I'll need to say what that point is. Huh. This is getting more complicated than I wanted it to be. I'm just going to stay with this for now, and then later I can change it, and after I do some thinking. So I'll just, maybe JSON utils get array. No, they can only do JSON arrays. So I guess I would just get that. I'm pretty sure that throws an exception, but I don't care that much. And then the ID lists will be the identifiers there. So we're good. Turn new event trigger. Oh. Ah, that's, yeah, it was abstract. I forgot about that. It no longer needs to be. This should be down here. Oops. Let's throw, right. Cool. Human trigger types now used. Oh, right. Cool. So I can register types and effects, and then I can load those types and effects from JSON. And all of these to-dos are not needed, I don't think, for just the regular behavior. And I think this should work. The only thing is I don't have any actual triggers and effects to use. All right, how long has this stream been going for? 51 minutes? I can make a couple, try and test it out. I'm not very good at JSON syntax, so I might screw that part up, but I'm pretty sure I can whip up a couple things. So let's just do, for the type, the trigger. Actually, let's make this have its own class. Can I just, I feel like this might be something I can do. Huh, yeah, cool. That's weird. That didn't do exactly what I wanted it to, but it did enough, I guess. Yeah, this made more problems than it solved. Oh, there we go. Cool. And then actually, I'm gonna make whole new packages for these triggers. And effects. Cool. That's just sort of an organizational thing. Try to make this class a little less big. Okay, and then trigger will be event trigger kill. So I think each of these, I did forget something. The types need access to the entity objects. There's the problem. I need an event type and an actual event class, just like the trigger types and the effect types. Ugh. Lame. Yep, probably not going to test this today. Basically, I have a list. These events are what you load from the JSON, but then I need to convert that because there could be multiple types of this event in the world at the same time, and it currently doesn't support that, and it doesn't give you access to the actual entities, which I will need to check if they are all dead. So basically, I'm probably going to be done for today. And that is what I will do next time, maybe tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. I'll do it in the morning tomorrow, I think. Event types with stored entities. Cool. And I'm also going to need to do tag entities with their identifiers, just so that I know which is which. I'll probably tag them in their entity data or MBT or something or other. I'll figure that out tomorrow. Cool. We made a lot more progress than last time. Probably because Sheriff didn't know I was streaming and didn't start a call with me. Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in if you did, or if you're watching this later.